Imagine walking into a gladiator arena where the opponent holds all the weapons, controls the ground, and dictates the pace. You are backed into a corner, absorbing heavy blows, and the entire world is waiting for you to fall. But you refuse to bow down. That was the exact terrifying scenario under the blinding, intense lights of the Dallas Stadium in Texas. Welcome back to Total Football Nexus. Today, we are breaking down one of the most heart-stopping, nerve-wracking matches of the 2026 FIFA World Cup. Group F just delivered a 90-minute psychological thriller between the relentless, dominating orange machine of the Netherlands and the unbreakable, defiant samurai blue of Japan. But let me tell you right now, this was not just a football match. This was a brutal game of chess played on grass. And the ending? Absolutely nobody saw it coming. To understand the sheer magnitude of this 2-2 draw, you have to look at how the trap was set in the first 45 minutes. The game kicked off and immediately the Netherlands asserted total control. It was suffocating. They treated the ball like it was their personal property. The statistics showed they held nearly 60% possession and completed a staggering 464 passes out of 525. But numbers do not tell you the feeling on the pitch. It felt like a siege. Daniel Malen and Cody Gakpo were relentless, launching wave after wave of dangerous attacks. They were probing, testing, and trying to break the Japanese spirit. But Japan had built a fortress. Their defensive block was an absolute masterclass in discipline. Every time a Dutch player found a half space, a blue shirt was there. Japan executed 33 crucial clearances with a mind-bending 91% tackle success rate. And standing behind that defensive wall was Zion Suzuki. The Japanese goalkeeper was tested time and time again, pulling off 4 spectacular saves to keep his team breathing. The halftime whistle blew with the score locked at 0-0. The tension in the stadium was so thick you could cut it with a knife. The Dutch were frustrated, the Japanese were exhausted, but the storm had not even truly begun. The second half started, and within 5 minutes, the dynamic shattered. The 50th minute arrived with a crushing blow for Japan. Gravenberch, operating with the vision of a hawk, spotted a fraction of a second of disorganization in the Japanese box. He floated a glorious pinpoint cross that cut right through the heavy Texas air, and rising like an absolute titan above everyone else was the Dutch captain Virgil van Dijk. With a thumping, unstoppable header, he buried the ball into the back of the net. 1-0 to the Netherlands. The stadium erupted in orange delight. At this exact moment, most teams would completely fall apart. Conceding a goal to a team that is hiding the ball from you usually destroys your psychological resolve. But the Samurai Blue are forged from a different kind of steel. Instead of dropping their heads, they immediately flicked a switch. Just 6 short minutes later, in the 56th minute, Japan delivered a lethal counterpunch. Takefusa Kubo, playing like a man possessed, saw a microscopic gap in the Dutch defense. He slipped a brilliant, intelligent pass straight into the danger area. Kaito Nakamura was there waiting. With a thunderous, perfect strike from inside the box, he completely paralyzed the Dutch defense. The ball rocketed into the net, 1-1. The giant had been matched. The entire momentum of the game shifted in a heartbeat. But the Dutch were far from finished. They were about to unleash a tactical adjustment that would push Japan straight to the edge of the abyss. Would the Japanese defense finally crumble under the overwhelming pressure? The joy of the Japanese equalizer was violently cut short just 7 minutes later. The 63rd minute arrived, and the Netherlands reminded the world exactly why they are football royalty. They regrouped, stabilized their midfield, and launched another devastating attack. Once again, it was the brilliant mind of Gravenberch orchestrating the chaos. He found a pocket of space and delivered his second assist of the night, a pass so clean it belonged in an art gallery. Waiting at the end of it was Crescenzio Somerville. With absolute ice in his veins, Somerville received the ball, shifted it perfectly onto his left foot, and unleashed a flawless, curling shot that left the goalkeeper stranded. The ball kissed the net. 2-1. The Netherlands had taken the lead for the second time. The Dutch fans roared, thinking they had finally broken the Japanese resistance. The clock was ticking down. The possession was still heavily in favor of the men in orange. It felt like the life had been slowly squeezed out of the game. But this is exactly where football transforms from a physical sport into a psychological war. On the touchline, Japan's manager Hajime Moriyasu stood completely calm. He was calculating. He knew the Dutch players were getting slightly too comfortable with their lead. Moriyasu decided to roll the dice. He turned to his bench and made the substitutions that would alter the destiny of the match. He brought on Junya Ito and Koki Ogawa. This was not just a change of personnel, this was a tactical masterstroke. The introduction of these fresh, hungry players acted like a jolt of electricity for the entire Japanese squad. Suddenly, the dynamics flipped. Japan stopped sitting back and absorbing pressure. They started to press high. They started to gamble. The Dutch defense, which had enjoyed a relatively peaceful night against direct pressure, suddenly found themselves panicking. The clock hit the 80th minute, then the 85th minute. The desperation was palpable. Every single challenge, every single pass was a matter of life and death. Then came the 88th minute, just 2 minutes away from the final whistle, just 2 minutes away from an opening day defeat. Japan forced a corner kick. The stadium went dead silent. Koki Ogawa, the substitute sent in to save the day, stepped up to the corner flag. He whipped a vicious, curling delivery straight into the heart of the penalty area. The ball hung in the air for what felt like an eternity, crashing through the bodies, showing an unbelievable desire to win the ball, was Daichi Kamada. He threw his head at it with everything he had. A phenomenal connection. The ball blurred past the Dutch keeper and smashed into the net. 2-2. Absolute, unadulterated madness. But the drama refused to die. The fourth official signaled for 6 minutes of injury time. 6 minutes of pure, heart-stopping chaos. Both teams threw absolute caution to the wind, desperately hunting for a legendary late winner. The Dutch pushed forward so aggressively that their defender, Mickey van de Ven, had to make a cynical, desperate tackle just to stop a Japanese breakaway, earning himself a yellow card in the process. When the final whistle finally echoed around the stadium, the players collapsed on the pitch. A 2-2 draw. Both teams walk away with 1 point in Group F, but Japan walks away knowing they can survive the ultimate pressure test. This incredible performance was not just luck, it was the result of a very specific, deeply ingrained mentality that the Japanese team has been building for years. If you want to understand the secret psychological tactics that Japan uses to break down European giants time and time again, you cannot miss our deep dive into their mind games. To know more about this, click the video on your screen right